Drake send you those bottles?
Drake definitely sent me 6 bottles of Dom Perignon. I gave away 5 of them. I kept one for myself.
I didn't get one, but that's another story.
Drake has sent you plenty of other things. Y'all know you OVO B.Dot.
Brackets on brackets. We tryna get to these brackets. We flipping through all of these hits and these classics. Sometimes don't know which one to pick when it happens. We mixing and matching. We listening and tryna get brackets. Complex brackets.
What's up, everyone? Welcome to Complex Brackets with me, your host, Brian B.Dot Miller. Now, as you know, Brackets is a show where we take a special guest through a series of competitive brackets and crown a winner. It's part game show, part conversation, all judgment. Now, today we're welcoming an old friend with whom I've had many debates and disagreements on almost everything. He's got opinions, and usually he can back them up with facts. He's known for many things, including acting, producing, his Black Effect podcast network, and 2020 induction into the Radio Hall of Fame. He's also co-host of the nationally syndicated morning show, The Breakfast Club. Welcome my man, Charlamagne Tha God.
B.Dot.
Charlamagne, what's good?
What we arguing about today? What we about to argue about?
A little bit of everything, man. Now, Charlamagne, you have more jobs than anybody I know. Why was now the right time to launch the Black Effect podcast network?
Well, for me, I was just sitting back watching the game. If you look, a lot of the Black podcasts, we spread out over here, spread out over there. So I was like, yo, man, why not consolidate all that? Help everybody get paid.
So in addition to amplifying voices, Charlamagne, your voice is sometimes the loudest. Now, you're no stranger to beef or controversy, so we compiled this 16C bracket for you to help us determine what is the greatest diss track of all time. Looking at it right here, what do you think so far, Charlamagne?
I like this list because my top 5 is pretty much on here.
All right, that's cool, Charlamagne. Now, I have my sleeper and lock picks too. I won't reveal them just yet, but if they make it to the final round, I'll let you know.
Okay.
So, let's get it bracking. The first matchup we have, Tupac Hit 'Em Up versus MC Lyte 10% Diss.
Tupac Hit 'Em Up was #1 most disrespectful diss record of all time.
Yeah.
It was the first time that, I remember hearing a record and saying to myself, oh, somebody gonna get hurt behind this. Like this, it's not just rap. But the illest part about Tupac Hit 'Em Up, it was a record that literally could be played on the radio.
Yeah.
Even though it was real filthy, but if you wanted to clean it up, it would have made a good radio record, and it definitely rang off in the clubs. Nothing is gonna get more under your skin than being in a club and you drinking, having a good time, and then a diss record about you makes the whole club go crazy. That's a memory marker.
Right.
In hip hop. Everybody remembers where they were the first time they heard Tupac Hit 'Em Up. I can't say that about MC Lyte 10% Diss.
Right. Well, there you go. Hit 'em up. Goes to the next round. Next matchup we have, Common the Bitchin' You versus Cannabis second round knockout.
It's a decent one. The Bitchin' You is a great record, but Cannabis second round knockout, easy for me.
Wow.
Just because I like the fact that Cannabis was an underdog, and if you listen to second round knockout, it's very meticulous. Like, he really breaks it down detail for detail on why he has this issue with LL Cool J, and LL's not no small fish to jump on.
Yeah.
That guy Cannabis came with some filthy ass bars. I still don't understand, you can never eat his ass like me. That I don't understand, but yeah, Cannabis second round knockout, easy choice for me.
Were you surprised at the Common's Bitchin' You record?
That was early on in Common's career, so we kind of had a perception of Common. So when you saw Common going at, quote unquote gangster rappers, even though Ice Cube was very conscious, he started it off like super aggressive. A bitch nigga with an attitude named Q. Try to step to the calm with a few. You like, whoa, The record is great, but it didn't, that first line, it didn't match the aggressiveness of the record. I felt like he should have came out, Cannabis came on second round knockout. Cannabis didn't play with LL.
Yeah.
He dropped a nuclear weapon. Like, yo, I got a bomb if I'm gonna bomb.
There you go.
And that's why I go with Cannabis second round knockout.
Second round knockout lives to fight another day, goes to the next round. Next up we have Nas Ether versus Nicki Minaj, Roman's Revenge.
Nas Ether.
Do you remember where you were when you first heard Ether, Charlamagne?
I was doing radio in Charleston, South Carolina, and like everybody thought it was over for Nas. Like it was like, yo, There's no coming back from Takeover. And then he drops Ether. Just seeing Nasty Nas come up off the canvas like the Undertaker, like just to pop back up like, I'm not dead.
Yeah.
You know, that was something special to watch.
Right.
Nicki Minaj, Roman Revenge. Is that the one where she's like,
she was getting at Little Kim.
Yeah, it's a short verse. It's like real short, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's Roman's Revenge was cool, but I mean, Ether, that's like, you know, that's in some people's top 5 diss records of all time.
Right. Okay, well, Ether Make Your Soul Burn Slow, and that's going to the next round too.
And the fact Ether became the adjective for diss records.
Right.
A dope verse when somebody's getting at somebody, that's that Ether. So yeah, Nas easy.
Next matchup we have, Boogie Down Productions, The Bridge Is Over versus Dr. Dre Day.
It's the toughest one so far because both of these records do what I love.
What's
right?
that?
First of all, they're very direct. Both of them are very direct. No subliminals. You know exactly who they're getting at. You know exactly why they're getting at them. And they're both records that could play on radio if you get the clean version. They're both records that could bump in the club.
Yep.
Ah, man.
This is tough. And you talk about the intro of a Boogie Down Production, those pianos. Dun, 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 dun. I'm still mad at Red Alert for amplifying and being like, yeah, that still makes me upset. But then you got Dre Day, and, you know, he's getting that easy. And
Tim Dog
and right, Uncle Luke.
Damn, Boogie Down. I'm about to say something that's not true. I'm about to say that Dre was going at a number of people. Boogie Down, KRS was going at the whole Juice Crew.
Yeah, he was going at a whole borough. It's kind of difficult.
Oh, man. And yo, I have Dre Day in my top 5 diss records of all time.
Okay.
And I don't even know why, because Boogie Down Productions, The Bridge Is Over should be there. Like, this is unfair. This is 2 nuclear weapons. This is a country both dropping nukes on each other.
This is what brackets is all about, see?
The reason I would go with Dre Day is because Dr. Dre's back was against the wall too. You know what I'm saying? Like Dr. Dre was, you know, trying to prove that he could make it, you know, without NWA.
But he also had help with Snoop Dogg on that track.
He did have help with Snoop. Man, yo. I gotta stick with Dre.
Because, all right, Dr.
God, that's hard, bro. That's hard. Like, this ain't easy, bro.
Wow. You know,
it can't be a draw.
No draw, because KRS is gonna dish you now. You know that. He has 5 battle rhymes for anyone.
For anyone. Nah, this is hard. This is tough. It ain't easy. I'm gonna stick with Dre Day though.
Dre Day moves on to the next round. Sorry, KRS. All right, next matchup we have Jay-Z The Takeover versus MGK Rap Devil.
Jay-Z Takeover.
Jay-Z Takeover. I mean,
Stop. And by the way, I love Rap Devil.
I remember.
MGK got the best of Eminem in that battle. I love Rap Devil.
Jay-Z had 4 verses. I mean, who's doing that these days, right?
Exactly. And I mean, Nas, Mobb Deep, and, you know, to these other guys who don't even deserve to get mentioned and only got half a bar, fuck y'all niggas. Like, Jay-Z Takeover. He broke down Nas's career in a verse. That's the other thing people don't give Jay credit for. Jay broke down Nas's career in a verse, you know, and it was very precise.
Yeah.
Takeover was just all about Nas and his career and, you know, how some of his albums were lackluster and Jay-Z having to buy publishing from MC Search.
Yeah.
Like, you know who did what, would you know who? Let's keep that between me and you, even though he did on Super Ugly.
Right.
Takeover.
Were you surprised how MGK handled himself against Eminem?
No, because MGK can rap.
Yeah.
And, you know, I think that Eminem underestimated MGK. If you've been watching, you know, somebody like Eminem your whole career, you know exactly what he does to people. You know exactly what you need to do to not get pumped.
Yeah, there you go.
MGK did.
Well, the break's over, MGK. Jay-Z's going to the next round. Next matchup we have, oh, this is hard. Mobb Deep drop a gem on him versus 50 Cent back down.
Not hard for me.
Really?
Love Mobb Deep, put gem on him, but back down is hard.
Yeah.
Back Down is one of the most slept on diss records of all time. I think it's because by the time Get Rich or Die Trying came out, we all had Ja Rule diss record fatigue. And, you know, 50 and Eminem and Busta Rhymes and everybody had threw so much, Dr. Dre, they all threw so much at Ja and Murder Inc. that by the time we heard Back Down, we didn't even really appreciate it. But
yeah.
Down was hard, bro.
But you gotta give the mob credit for how they held it down against Tupac.
Like there was lines in there about Pac. Yeah, and Havoc had a couple of lines when he was comparing him to Bishop.
Yeah.
From the movie Juice, but 50 Cent back down, man. What he said, you a Pop-Tart, sweetheart, you soft in the middle. I eat you for breakfast. Your watch in exchange for your necklace.
Yeah.
Your man is a bitch. If he could, he would. Sell his soul for cheap. Trade his life to be Suge. Man, that was back down is filthy.
That was vicious, and the beat was hard too. So, back down goes to the next round. Next matchup we have, boom, Ice Cube, No Vaseline, Gucci Mane, The Truth.
Ice Cube, No Vaseline.
Wow. I wasn't expecting this, Charlamagne.
Ice Cube was a one-man army going up against the whole NWA. And you know, that record took on a whole new life when you watch Straight Outta Compton and you see what was probably their reaction to Ice Cube, No Vaseline. You know what I mean? And Gucci Mane, The Truth is a hard record, but if we're being honest, Gucci Mane, The Truth is more of a shock value record because of the whole, you know, I dig your partner up, homie, bet he can't say shit.
But Charlamagne, I mean, we've had conversations about this record, you know, plenty of times. I think it's one of the greatest of all time. I mean, and then for him to perform it in front of Jeezy, I mean, it was really rooted in truth. And to be honest, this was also my sleeper pick to go all the way. So you just killed it right there.
Yeah, I gotta go Ice Cube, No Vaseline. I can understand why Gucci Mane, The Truth would be that record. And I mean, you know, he gets extra points for actually performing it in front of Jeezy at the Versus last year. But it's like, nah, I think Ice Cube, No Vaseline did more damage to NWA than Gucci Mane, The Truth actually did to Jeezy. You know what I'm saying? Some could say that Ice Cube, No Vaseline, NWA was never the same after that. You know, the group couldn't go on after Cube, you know, put that record out. Gucci Mane, The Truth didn't have that kind of impact on Jeezy.
Yeah, well, I guess you're right, Sean. We're gonna have to talk about this in the group chat, but No Vaseline is going on to the next round. Okay, now last one we have, Pusha T, The Story Added On versus Drake back to back. I mean, Charlamagne, you were shouted out on this record too, so are you biased?
Some people will say I'm biased, but Drake back to back is a top 5 diss record of all time because Drake actually accomplished what a lot of those other diss records didn't. Drake made a diss record that could absolutely play in the clubs, but absolutely did get played on radio because he didn't curse. And then that was the first record that we saw have the internet's assistance. Not only was it the bars, but those bars made all of these different social media creatives come up with all of these funny ass memes, and they was on Meek Mill's head for what seemed like weeks. You know what I'm saying?
It did.
And it's like Drake repositioned Meek, like Twitter fingers became a thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But I know you also Pusha T's your guy as well, so I'm surprised that you're going in this direction.
I mean, but we're just talking about record to record now. The Story of Adidon was better than the record Drake did when he was getting that Kanye. I forgot what it was even called with Kanye, and when he was getting that Kanye and Pusha. But back to back, that's a top 5 diss record of all time to me.
Okay, well, there you have it from Charlamagne Tha God. Back to back, let's go on to the next round. There we have it. And boom, there we have our Elite 8. Charlamagne, what do you think so far?
I think that's a phenomenal Elite 8. My top 5 greatest diss records are up there.
Okay.
My top 5 greatest diss records of all time.
Well, hold on, because I know it's going to get a little bit more spicy. Okay, that was the end of round 1. Now we've got some classics on here and some newer ones. It was really tough, but there's some that just couldn't make the cut, including Eminem, The Sauce, Nail in the Coffin, Beanie Siegels, Jadakiss Diss, Jadakiss, Checkmate, Remy Ma, Sheether, Roxanne Shante, Have a Nice Day, Cameron, Hate Me Now Freestyle, T.I., 99 Problems, LL Cool J, Ripper Strikes Back, Master Ace, Top 10 List, Eazy-E, Real Motherfucking G's, DJ Quick, Dollars and Cents. Charlamagne, what do you think we left out?
I mean, those are some good, Sheetha, Remy Ma Sheetha was a great one.
Yeah.
The Beanie and Jada, oh my God. Like, oh my God.
Talk about that battle. Like, to me, I think that's one of the most underrated battles of all time.
It is, because that's another battle that we know could have went left at any moment. So that was one for me. And the fact that Jadakiss performed the Beanie diss record in Philadelphia at Powerhouse in the height of the beef. Wow. Wow. But I'll tell you what else. Is the Checkmate one, is that the one where Jada's like...
That's the one where Jadakiss is getting at 50 Cent.
Yeah, and he's like, he's naming all the rappers that don't like 50. He's like him don't respect you. He'll spit in your face.
Yeah.
Like, was that it?
I believe so.
That was hard too.
Yeah. All right, on to the next round, Charlamagne. We have our Elite 8. You ready?
Let's do it.
Let's get it bracking. First up we have Tupac Hit 'Em Up versus Cannabis Second Round Knockout.
Cannabis Second Round Knockout, great diss record, but Tupac Hit 'Em Up still rings off right now. Yo, Tupac Hit 'Em Up is actually it's just a great record.
Right.
It's not even just a great diss record. It's a great sample. Tupac spitting, the Outlaws is spitting. Like, it's just a dope record. Like, if it wasn't about, Biggie and Junior Mafia, you could really enjoy it guilt-free.
And it's kind of clever how Pac flipped the Get Money record and made Hit 'Em Up to it, right?
Absolutely.
Right.
100%.
There you have it. Tupac with the TKO. Down goes Cannabis. Tupac goes on to the next round. Next matchup we have Nas Ether versus Dr. Dre Day.
Dr. Dre Day.
Wow, I wasn't expecting that.
And the reason I'm going with Dr. Dre Day is like both Nas, Ether, and Dr. Dre Day got like a bunch of elementary disses. But Dr. Dre Day is just a better record.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's better production. I mean, Ron Brown did his thing on Ether, but come on, man, that dun 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 dun. It's just a dope ass house party ass record. Even to this day, you could throw that on and you're gonna still have a good time to it.
I will agree with you on that. I feel like Ether doesn't feel the same way it did 20 years ago.
Nah, it was a shock value record.
Yeah.
The beat was hard. You come on, fuck Jay-Z with Tupac's voice, and you just coming on, you been on my dick. All of that sounds good, but like, Nas didn't really say anything too scathing about Hov. It was like, yo, you ain't got no mustache. You gay.
Yeah.
Fiends, you whack.
Yeah.
Eminem, like, there's nothing on there that's like,
Right.
Especially looking at Jay now. It's like
hindsight is 2020.
Exactly. I'm going with Dre Day.
Well, Dre Day, Queens guys run you guys, but not today, man. Dr. Dre goes on to the next round. Next matchup we have Jay-Z Takeover versus 50 Cent Back Down.
Jay-Z Takeover. You got to think about all parts of that record. You got to think about Jay-Z coming out on the Summer Jam stage.
Yep.
Rapping Takeover over Mobb Deep and Nas Beats. That was the same year he bought out Michael Jackson. Takeover went on the Blueprint. Blueprint came out on 9/11. Jay still did damn near went gold in a week. And Takeover is what resurrected Nasir.
Yeah. It made Nas remind himself who he is.
Absolutely.
Right.
Absolutely. And so Takeover.
So Takeover, the break's over. 50 Cent's down. Jay-Z's going to the next round. So once and for all, it's 20 years later. Who won the battle, Jay-Z or Nas?
Well, okay, listen, you could say Nas won the battle, Hov won the war, but even back then, I felt like Jay-Z won because I'm factoring in Takeover, I'm factoring in the Blueprint 2 joint.
That's a great record.
The one mic. And even if you go back and listen to Super Ugly, Jay was snapping on Super Ugly.
Yeah.
He might have went too far talking about sleeping with Nas' baby mama, but he's still snapping on that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I personally, I think, Jay-Z had all the better music throughout that whole run, but also Jay-Z was at a point in his life where we wanted to see him loose.
And the final matchup is Ice Cube No Vaseline versus Drake Back to Back. This is a hard one, see.
It's tough, right?
Right.
The old head in me wants to say Ice Cube No Vaseline just because it was just so hard.
Right.
But Back to Back is such a great record, and I have to factor in what social media did because of that record, right? Because all of that plays a part. When we're talking about these records, we're talking about the impact that it had on people. This is a tough one, bro. This is a tough one. And I don't want to be a prisoner of the moment and say Back to Back. You know what I mean? Because we were all, like, I wasn't of age when No Vaseline came out, so I don't really remember the full impact of it. But that goddamn Back to Back was a monster.
Yeah, it was. Is that your final answer, C?
I can't go against Ice Cube, No Vaseline.
Wow.
That Ice Cube, No Vaseline moment was different, man. Like, that was Ice Cube versus NWA.
Yeah.
The most dangerous rap group that he left, and they tried to bury him. He said, nah, fuck y'all. Both middle fingers up. It kind of like laid the blueprint for the Drake back-to-backs and everything else. Not saying that things that come after can't be better, but I still got to go with Ice Cube, No Vaseline.
Ice Cube, No Vaseline. There we have it, our final four. C, what do you think?
This is where it gets tough.
It's getting tough. If you notice, Charlamagne, a lot of these songs are from the 90s and early 2000s. Why do you think disc records were so popular back then?
Because we didn't have social media.
Yeah.
So being that we didn't have social media, people had to run to a recording booth and make music as opposed to letting tweets fly. You know what I'm saying? And that's one of the reasons, even though, Drake didn't make it to the next round, that's another reason why I appreciate that record so much. Drake, the guy that we say isn't hip hop, the guy from Canada who we don't think knows the sport of hip hop the way we think our American rappers do. He did what you're supposed to do when a rapper came at him. He came with music, he came with Charged Up, he came with Back to Back. So I just think in the 90s and the early 2000s, it was more so all about the music. And being that it was all about the music, those emotions that you get now on Twitter, or you get in a rant when somebody doing an IG live of the person, they put it all into the music, man. And that was also during a time where we didn't really know what artists felt about each other the way we do now.
Yeah, that's true.
So when you heard it, this record, you was like, oh shit, Common dissed Cube. Or, oh shit, you heard what Pac just said to Biggie. So I just think it was because people ran to the studio and they put those feelings in their music more so than in the Twitter.
So you think disc records are dead now?
I don't think they're dead. I just don't think they mean as much. You know what I'm saying? Because like we see so many motherfuckers just going at each other now.
Yeah.
I think that part of the game is dead. Like being surprised that somebody's dissing somebody. That part of the game is like, that ain't nothing.
What do you think is gonna be the next big diss record?
I think Kendrick and Drake gonna have to clash at some point.
Really? Why do you think that is? For the top spot?
Yeah, I just think that, over the past 10 years, Drake has definitely been more active than Kendrick. But, Kendrick has put out less material, but to me, he's still right there. To me, he's the best artist of the past, 10 years.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying they have to clash, but it almost seems like it's inevitable. Like, when have the two best in the game not at some point?
Right.
You saw it with Nas and Jay. So at some point, like, I think Kendrick and Drake gonna have to address each other in some way, and that's gonna be a good one.
Still sharp still, I love it. Now we have our final four. Let's get into it. Tupac Hit 'Em Up versus Dr. Dre Day.
I'm going Tupac Hit 'Em Up, man. Only because, once again, like, I feel like Tupac, well, actually, Dre Day laid the blueprint for a song like Tupac, because Dre Day was that song that you would hear in the clubs, you would hear on the radio. They did a video for it. They put it out as a single, and Tupac kind of followed suit with that. But I just think Tupac Hit 'Em Up is a better record. You know what I mean? And opening bars. First off, fuck the bitch in the clique you claim. Even the ad libs, you know what I'm saying? That's why fuck your bitch, you fat motherfucker. Even though God bless the dead to both them brothers, but it just like Tupac Hit 'Em Up as a diss record.
Yeah.
More filthy and just a better record. And Tupac, I gotta go in situations like this. I gotta go with who was being targeted. You know what I mean? Dre Day, Eazy-E, Uncle Luke, Big Fish. But you got Biggie and the whole Junior Mafia, Lil Kim, Lil C's, like they
Chino
all.
XL?
Chino XL, they all got it. Mobb Deep, like they all got it on Hit 'Em Up. I gotta go Hit 'Em Up.
Hit 'Em Up. Here we go. Hit 'Em Up moves to the final round. And lastly, we have Jay-Z to Takeover versus Ice Cube, No Vaseline.
I'm going Jay-Z Takeover.
Wow, okay.
Yeah, I'm going Jay-Z Takeover for all the reasons, I mentioned earlier. Lines being very disrespectful to Mobb Deep, you little fucks. I got money bigger than you.
We also gotta give credit to Kanye West, the way he chopped up the Door sample.
Absolutely. I gotta go Takeover over Ice Cube, No Vaseline.
And there we have it. Takeover goes to the next round. Now see, here we go. This is for all the marbles. Jay-Z to Takeover versus Tupac Hit 'Em Up.
Let the record show I have these two as my top 2 greatest diss records of all time. That is a fact.
Yes.
I've never had to compare the two, though. This is my personal favorite,
yes.
right? Objectively speaking, Tupac wins as far as the clubs are concerned, because Takeover wasn't really a big club record.
Not at all.
Takeover wasn't even really a big radio record either. Like, if you heard it on the radio, you know, we all remember when K. Slay used to do the Drama Hour, he would play this record like every Thursday night on Hot 97.
Yep.
But it wasn't like a huge radio record. Neither was Tupac Hit 'Em Up. Oh, man.
This is a tough one, because it could go either way. I also like the fact that Jay-Z performed the Takeover on MTV Unplugged with the Roots. Like, who does a diss record unplugged?
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing, right? I don't think there was ever a real issue with Big.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Not the kind of issue that, you know, led to everything that it led to. I mean, of course, hindsight of 2020, so you say, yo, nobody should have been killed because of that situation. And we still don't know if a lot of the stuff Tupac said was true.
True.
You know what I'm saying? That's why I F'd your fat mother. Faith said that didn't happen.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Jay-Z, on the other hand, a lot of the Takeover is like 100% factual. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know who he paid, God, Searchlight Publishing. You know what I mean? Even though the One Hot album, that was a little off, because I thought that It Was Written and I Am were great albums.
I agree with you on that one. It seems like you're making a case for the guy from Brooklyn.
Yeah, I'm going to have to go Sir Carter from Brooklyn, man. I'm going to have to go Sir Carter from Brooklyn simply because I still like the strategic way that Jay-Z broke down everybody in Takeover. Tupac Hit 'Em Up is still filled with a lot of emotion, not a lot of strategy. You know, for me, the reason I like Takeover, because Jay never sounded mad. He never sounded upset throughout the whole record. He was just stating matter-of-factly and real simple and plain why, at the time, Nas, you ain't on my level. Mobb Deep, you ain't on my level. I sold what your whole album sold in my first week.
Man.
You guys don't want it with Hov. Ask Nas, he don't want it with Hov.
No!
That was like, if you're listening to that and I'm Nas and I hear that verse, I'm just like, oh, he just sent me a little shot.
Right.
And then he comes back with a whole other verse. I know you missing Nas, the fame, but along with celebrity comes about 70 shots to your brain. Use a lame. Use the cancel culture words. In Esco ads.
Right.
Like, I gotta go Takeover, man. Takeover was just a little more lethal than Tupac Hit 'Em Up.
I didn't see that one coming. I mean, I had Hit 'Em Up as my lock. I thought that was gonna be your lock, but Jay-Z wins again. Will he ever fall off?
I didn't start off liking Jay-Z in the beginning. I was like a Wu-Tang fan. I was a Click, all that grimy, dirty shit. My homeboy Booby from Moncks Corner, South Carolina, he was a huge, you know, Jay-Z fan when Reasonable Doubt dropped. And I was like, man, turn that off. I don't want to hear that Wu-Tang on. But what got me on to Jay was when the Screechers Watching movie came out. That Screechers soundtrack. That's when I really started paying attention. So from In My Lifetime Volume 1, going back to Reasonable Doubt, then by the time Volume 3 came out, I was all in on Hov, man. Yeah. So, but then I started like around the Kingdom Come era, Blueprint 3. I was like, enough of this guy. Let's get him out of here.
He's got the cheat code.
He's got the cheat code, man. You got it. He's the immortal Hov.
And there we have it. Jay-Z, Takeover, according to Charlamagne Tha God, greatest diss track of all time.
Just my opinion. Okay, send all your hate mail to B.Dot. It's just my opinion. I'm only going off what he gave me, even though my top 5 diss records of all time are on this bracket. So this is a great bracket.
Thank you for coming on, C. Appreciate it.
Just happy to be here, man. This was fun. Appreciate you, B.Dot.
Yes, sir. Yo, I want to thank my guest Charlamagne Tha God for joining us here on Complex Brackets. And to all of you, thank you for watching. If you want to get in on the brackets debate, make sure you share your thoughts with the hashtag Complex Brackets. Until next time, I'm Brian B.Dot Miller. Peace.
Complex Brackets.